Casey, just trying to catch up with you because all the hard work's done. Saturday night, you're back out for fight number 4, and this excites me as well because we know your opponent, and often I'm talking to the fighters, we don't know who you're fighting, but you're fighting a kid who fights on our shows regular now. I think he actually made his debut against a kid who's on the same card as you, Johnny Boy Kiley, who you do loads of sparring with. And his last 4 fights,
won 3, hasn't he? So
you didn't with it.
Yeah, I mean with Jake, his record now won't. If you look at his last 5 fights, it'll show him as a decent fighter. You look at the record beforehand, and it doesn't reflect what he actually is.
Well, this is what's surprising about it. He's done all that the hard way because 2 of those wins came when he was on the road. One of them on our shows against a friend of yours, Owen Kirk. But he made his home debut for the first time. I think it was his 11th fight, and he had a rematch with a kid called Paul Scaife. And that kid had beat him 40-36.
And he overturned it, didn't he? 40-36.
And it was with ease, mate. With ease.
Yeah, he did it easily. Like we were saying before, he's a good kid. Like he isn't a bad kid. Like his record doesn't reflect what he could actually do.
Well, do you know
it's going to be a test for me in there, and it is going to give me an opportunity to show what I can do more than I have been able to thus far in my career. I know I'm more capable than what I've showed thus far.
Well, do you know something? I was watching there today and I was asking your coach, Elliot, what we've been working on, what we've been adding to your game, and you've got a fantastic amateur background, over 100 amateur fights, and you can tell that when you box because everything's correct, everything's right, everything's proper. But you said it to me, you didn't really throw that many body shots. It wasn't part of your game, and it's not really part of the amateur game, is it?
No, it's not, and especially when I was coming up from being, as a kid, on the old clicker system, so if you threw a body shot, no matter whether it hit or not, it weren't getting scored, so it was always that, let's be nice and tidy, don't get hit, throw a few shots, score. Judges used to be bored of me. I'd win bouts like 1-0, 2-1, 3-1, stuff like that. Honestly, judges hated me as a kid.
From what I've just been watching now, that looks like it's really paying off, mate, because that body punching you were doing today with Elliot on the body belt, you're looking really vicious, mate.
It's definitely something that we have been working on. It's something we've been working on from the start of my transition into the pros. It's been just over 12 months now since I signed with Steve. Obviously I didn't get to make my debut till September last year, but it's been just over 12 months since I've actually had my licence meeting just over a year ago. It was like a year ago, 2 weeks ago. So it's something we have been working all the way along, but it's just having that confidence to throw it in action, and as I've been getting more and more sparring, we've been working on it more and more, it's coming into play more, and it's coming a little bit more in each fight, and this Saturday it'll even come in even more. And
like I said, a genuinely good fight. Like I say, hopefully you'll find opportunities to because he's going to be coming at you.
Yeah,
he's coming to win. There's no two ways about it. He doesn't know any other way to fight, and he's not like a typical journeyman. Because first of all, he's very unorthodox.
He's unorthodox. He comes to win, and
he's very fit. He's very fit.
He is very fit. All journeymen have that, but unlike others, like we say, he comes to win all the time. He's very, very unorthodox, and in a way, he's untidy, which a lot of journeymen aren't. They're all dead tidy. You look at like Danny. When I watch Danny, just dead tight, covered up. Josh Cook, last time out, that slick movement what he had, and he was hard to land clean on.
But you know something? I think we did an interview, but the microphone wasn't working, so I couldn't put it up. So it was just a nice, pretty picture of you with no sound. But I was saying to you on the night, I think it was very good because to land clean on Josh Cook is very, very hard to do. He's a great learning fight for anyone, because to land clean and pin him down, it's very hard to do because he's very good defensively. Not much of a threat because he don't really throw too much back.
Don't throw too much, but it's because he wants to stay on the road and keep boxing each week, and so the more you throw, the more you open up, the more at risk you are. So he's not gonna. Most of these journeymen aren't.
That's what I'm saying. So he's even harder to land on than the average journeyman. So, and you did land on him quite persistently throughout the fight.
Definitely earned his respect early on, because Josh normally comes and tries to nick around in the like third or fourth round every time.
Well,
and I got the 40-36 against him.
I was going to say, not many. I think only 2 people at the time had done 40-36 against him. I think that was his 10th fight, was it?
11th, I think.
Was it 11th?
10th or 11th, one or the other.
So,
but like you say, only 1 or 2 had done a 40-36 against him, and I did it with, like you say, with ease. So I earned his respect early on. I caught him clean early on, but then it was hard to try and push on him, try and get him out of there, because he knew how to survive. Because although he hadn't had much experience, he'd obviously been taught in the gym of how to survive.
Well, going back to Saturday night, like I say, Jake Bray and everything, this is going to be your 4th fight. Hopefully this is going to be your last 4-rounder. Now, you made your debut at White's Hotel in Bolton. This is your 2nd time back at the AJ Bell. Hopefully in September, when you, I think, are you scheduled for the AJ Bell show? Not the White's Hotel.
Yeah, I think I'm Bolton, 3rd September, does it, I think?
I think it is, yeah.
So it's near enough. It's just shy of a year to the day from my debut.
And hopefully it will be your first 6 rounder.
It'll be my first 6 rounder, and I feel like, you know, I've got to get through Saturday first. Can't look past anyone, especially Jake with the form that he's in. You can't look past him.
No.
So I've got to come in and I've got to stay switched on. And I've got to do what me and Elliot have been working on, and I've got to put our game plan into action.
From what I've been watching, like I say, you're the kid that was a perfect amateur boxer that perhaps needed to adapt a little bit.
Yeah.
From what I was watching there, it seems like that's really falling into place now, mate, and I'm excited to see what you bring to the table. But do you feel there's been much change in yourself from when you made your debut as a pro from when you had your last amateur fight?
If you'd have asked me a bit ago, I'd have said no, but then, like, me and Elliot were speaking before off camera, and like Elliot's just made me realise a couple of things, like, maybe yeah, I'm definitely a lot stronger now than what I was then, and you know, I know what I'm doing a little bit more on the inside, and obviously I'm still learning. Every day you're learning in this sport.
When you stop learning, you have to retire, mate.
Yeah, definitely. So, like, definitely there has been changes, and a fair bit of it's just a bit mental. Like,
what I'm saying, do you feel like a professional fighter now?
In some aspects yes, in some aspects no. Like, because there's still then similarities between for the amateur game. So at the minute it's 4 rounds and it's only 3 minutes more than what I was doing
on the day weigh-in.
And it's on the day weigh-in, so it's only 3 minutes longer than what I was doing as an amateur. So it's like, and I was doing 3-minute rounds for me in 16 because I was always open flats. But in terms of my experience, like it's not much different to that. But then at the same time, we've got like the big difference of selling all the tickets and going around having to promote it and everything. So there's a lot of differences in that aspect. But it's been up and down, yeah. But I'm glad to be on fight number 4, and camp number 4 is like basically finished.
Well,
now.
I spoke to Steve Wood today. I did an interview with Steve. It'll be going up tomorrow, probably the same time as this one goes up. And I was just saying what excites me, and we were speaking in the car before. There's a group of you. There's about 6 or 7 of you, all around the same weight, all around about that light middleweight margin. Who are all on that same 3-4 fights between you all. You're all fighting the same opponents. I mean, you're fighting Jake Bray, who Johnny Kyle, who's on the same show as you, is fighting. He's fighting your last opponent, Josh Cook. You know.
No, Reese is boxing.
Oh, Reese boxing. I don't know who's Johnny Bray fighting.
Russian that's based down in Portsmouth, he said.
Oh, yes, I think he's part of our show a couple of times. But
yeah, like I say, we've got about 5, 6, 7 of us. So what would be interesting is get us all doing a 6-rounder. Put us all in like a little tournament.
What happens is,
each other.
As you all get to, you know, let's say we jump forward with 14 months, and we get to September or October next year, there's a good possibility you could be fighting one of these guys.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Does that excite you?
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
Because
the genuine, the 50-50 fights excite me, and that little bit of fear excites me. Like, it's hard to put into words, so like at the minute it's like the nerves are there a little bit, but if you put me in like a genuine fight that could go either way, that I could definitely lose.
I know,
I'd be more excited, but you get a better version.
This is the closest you're going to get to it at present. This is a genuine fight, a guy with as good, he's had 3 wins in his last 4 fights.
He's got full intentions of winning.
Yeah.
He's got full intentions of winning.
And
So
you've got to admit
that excites me. Because it gives me.
I'm saying this excites me, mate. I'm genuinely excited.
It gives me an opportunity to showcase what I'm about, because I'm gonna have to work. There's no two ways about it. I'm gonna have to work. I'm gonna have to be on my A game. I'm gonna have to show what I can do.
Yeah.
And if I don't, I'll get beat. If I get beat, I've got to rebuild. And I don't want. This sport, we haven't got a lot of time.
Well,
it's not a long game.
It's okay getting beat against. This is where the pressure's on, because he's got 8 losses on his record. So if you get beat off him, then suddenly you're right down the pecking order.
Exactly.
And probably will miss out on those fights, because we want.
And that's not what I'm about.
Prospect.
Yeah. I want prospect versus prospect in the near future, like 100%. Put me in with these kids, and I'll be able to show what I'm about. Like, I fully believe I will. And there'll be some interesting fights out there.
Well, I just said
even just in our stable, like we're saying, there's some interesting fights out there. I'm already looking around at other kids in the rankings. I'm like, I'm boxing you. I'm boxing you.
So hopefully by the end of this year, you could be, if everything goes right, fingers crossed, you could be 6, maybe even 7-0. You never know if you get on the Johnny Boys. So realistically, they're now set up for a great 2023, and the back end of 2023 is, you've got to be looking at a central area fight, haven't you?
Like I said when we first met, when I turned over and did my first initial interview, end of 23, start of 24, that's where I want to be. So
everything's coming on plan so far?
So far, touch wood, everything's coming according to plan. There's been the little hiccups along the way through injuries and stuff in training, but
June the 18th, hopefully I'll be sat chatting to you, same win number 4. And
I'll say, same win number 4.
Listen, I know this is going to be a great fight.
Yeah,
because
100%.
He doesn't know bad fights, does he? You know what I mean?
He doesn't know how to go back.
No.
So, it'll be good. It'll be exciting.
It'll be a war.
Nah.
You ready?
We'll see. I'm ready. I'm more than ready. Like you just said, you've seen me in training there, and I'm feeling sharp. So.
Really, yeah. Obviously, I've not seen the preparations, but I know you've prepared well, because you've been working with Johnny Boy. You've been, you've done rounds with Reece Wood, who's fighting on the street. Yeah. So you're all helping one another to that next level.
At this point, we're all there to help each other.
Yeah.
In 13, 14 months, we'll be there trying to compete against one another. So now's the time where we can help each other.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to do, and that's what we've said. And like me and Johnny Boy have spoke about it. Like, we'll help each other now, but when the time comes, I'll respect him and that. But like Johnny Boy, Reece, Owen, whoever it may be, like if the time comes where I have to box him, I'll respect him. I'm not going to sit here and badmouth him, because they're all good kids. At the end of the day, this is a business. So if we have to box each other, we have to box each other. Because like I was up in Blackpool supporting Johnny Boy the week, because he's been in training with us and doing bits with me and Elliot.
Yeah, because his final week was done here because his coach was on holiday, wasn't it? So he was working with you and Elliot.
Yeah.
Well, listen, it seems to be paying off, mate. Everything I was watching today, I was truly impressed with, mate. And that backhand of yours you seem to be landing it with power without even trying, mate. So that's a nice sign.
That's the work we've been doing away from. So it's not only the technical work we've been doing with Elliot, it's the strength and conditioning work that I've been doing with my coach, Mark Banner, or MEMS as we call it. The work I've been doing with MEMS on the S&C side, it's helped tenfold. Like I feel.
And you do work. You're a worker as well.
Yeah, I work full time as well. So
what do you do?
It's like I'm a teaching assistant at the minute, so I'll get up, work out the house at like 7:30, 8 in the morning, get to Manchester, work all day in Manchester, finish there, and then I've got to come home and straight to the gym. So either here or to the gym for S&C, do a session, home, change, run.
But you know something though, I don't think it does you any harm. I think it makes you. You don't want to waste your time, do you? You don't want to waste your time.
Definitely
not. And hopefully we'll see that time not wasted with a fantastic performance on the 18th. And hopefully I'll be saying 4-0 to you, mate.
Definitely.
Casey, you take care, mate.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
For all boxing info, news and latest interviews, amateur and pro, across the north, click and subscribe. VIP Boxing Promotions. Also Twitter, Instagram and Facebook.